So, um, today we're going to be talking about how to add users to your HubSpot. So, let's get started. Most of the time, when you start using HubSpot or when your business starts growing, you need to bring in more people to assist with any department of your business, maybe marketing, sales, operations, or other departments that you have in your business. So when this happens, we have to actually add any new employers or member of your staff that you are bringing in into HubSpot. So for you to add any user into your HubSpot, I am on my own dashboard. So what you have to do is just to navigate to these settings. So once you navigate to the setting, become me this left panel, you're going to see users and teams. And from here, so what you have to do is to click on create user. Now, the first thing is to actually input their email address. So I'm going to use a random email address. Okay. So once I've entered the email address, the next thing is for you to click on next. And also, you can create multiple users at once. So that means that you have to create an Excel spreadsheet in form of CSV and then put their name, the first name, their last name, their email address, and any other information. But I think the basic things that are needed are just their first name, their last name, and their email address, which is very important. So, but for this example, we're just creating a user and not multiple users at once. So I'm going to click on next. And now this is the page where I have to give my user or the permissions that I want them to have in my HubSpot. Most of the time, depending on the department in which a new user will be functioning, or depending on their roles, they're going to be having different permission, which means they're going to be having access to different records and objects in your HubSpot. But if you are bringing in someone as a super admin, so by super admin, they're going to have access to everything in your HubSpot, all your contacts, records, all your deals, your tickets, everything inside of HubSpot is accessible by a super admin. So for you to make somebody a super admin, you just come to this page, action, then you click on make super admin. So once you make super admin, everything is accessible by the person. But if you don't want to make them a super admin, maybe they have to function in the marketing department. So you can see all these different objects, or let me call them records or sections that you have. So the first section is the CRM. So object access, manage records users can view, edit, or communicate with. So the first object we have here is this contact. So if I want my user that I want to add to see everything, so it means that uh, I select everything here. So it means that once they are added into HubSpot, they can easily navigate to the contact records inside of HubSpot, and they can see all the contacts that we have in our CRM. So it means that they can view everything. But if I don't want that, I'll just come to select it to maybe they can only view the contact that is owned by the team that they belong, or that is owned by them only. So it means that only contacts that this user creates inside of HubSpot will be accessible to them. You understand? But right now, I want this user to actually see all of my contacts inside my HubSpot. So I'm going to leave it as everything. The same thing goes for edit. Now, most of the time, I might want a particular user to be able to view all of my contact records inside HubSpot, but I don't want them to actually edit anything. So I only want them to edit the contact that they own, or only the contacts that their team owns. Or I don't want them to even edit any contacts. So if I don't want them to edit anything, I'm going to put this as none. Before them to edit all my contacts, I will set out everything. But most of the time, I want them to only be able to edit the contacts that they own. So again, this will actually depend on their role, or in which department they are going to be functioning, what kind of jobs are they going to be doing for you instead of HubSpot, what are they going to be assisting the business or the organization with. So all this actually determine the kind of access that a user is going to have in HubSpot. So also, delete, it means that can this user actually delete any contact inside of our HubSpot? So most of the time, we don't want them to actually delete any contact. So I'm going to set this as none. So it means that even if this particular user creates a contact inside of HubSpot, when they are added, they still cannot delete any contact, including the contacts that they themselves create in HubSpot. So that is for contacts under the CRM section. You also have the companies, you have the deals, tickets, tasks, notes, and all that. Now the next section is the CRM tools. Like, okay, which are CRM tools can this user access inside of HubSpot? So we have workflows. If they want to communicate, bulk delete. So I'm going to turn off this bulk delete. Actually, I don't want them to delete anything. But of course, they can import contacts. They can import companies. They can import any records into HubSpot. But I don't want them to export anything. So if I want them to export, I just come to toggle this bar on. But right now it's going to be off. Can they edit property settings? This includes all our contacts, properties, our deal properties, all objects, all records. So for them to be able to edit, I'm going to toggle this on, but if not, it will be off. Also, chat flows. Can they create chat flows? Can they edit chat flows? Can they publish chat flows and all of that? So depending on what I want them to have access to under the CRM tools and the CRM object. Now the next thing we're going to is the marketing. Now, if you come to marketing, you can see the options. If they can view or edit. Now, list, can they view list? Yes. Can they edit list? Yes. If I don't want, I'll turn it off. Also, forms, can they edit forms? Can they import files? Can they upload files? Can they delete files? If you don't want that, just turn this off. So it's actually easy for you. So you as the super admin or the owner, you have access to everything inside of HubSpot, and you can also decide which parts of your HubSpot, which tools, which object, which records every user has access to. You have marketing tools like the ads, the email, the social, the content staging. So you want them to be able to send email. It means that if I'm adding a user as a marketing assistant in my HubSpot, it means that I have to give them permission to be able to edit and publish emails. The same thing goes for socials, depending on the number of connected social accounts that we have inside of HubSpot. Then the content staging. So we have the website tools like the blog, landing pages, the website pages. Can they create blog? Can they publish blogs? Can they create landing pages and publish? Can they create website pages? Also, we have design tools. That's under the marketing. So the same thing goes for sales. They can create custom line items, the payments, and all of that. So you have the service, the reports, but you can see this star that says partner program. This is because we a HubSpot partner agency. So you might not see this tab in your own HubSpot unless you also are a HubSpot partner. So you can also see the next tab which says accounts. So which of these account settings are they going to have access to? Are they going to have access to marketing contacts inside of HubSpot? Do you want them to have uh, access to the app marketplace or the asset marketplace or the GDPR the list contacts? This should actually be off, except the user that you are going to add to your CRM has extensive knowledge of CRMs, or they actually hold a key position in your company. So you can see all these settings. If you want them to have access to any of these guys, you just turn this toggle on, but if not, turn it off again. So after you are done with all these different permissions, depending on the departments, their functions, and their roles. So when you're done, just click on this next. And don't forget, if you want to add a user as a super admin, which means that they're going to have access to all these tools, all these records, all these account settings, and all. You only have to come to this action drop down and make them a super admin. So that saves you all the stress of going through which of the objects or which of the tools or which of the account settings uh, are they going to have access to. So once we are done there, we click on next, and that's all. So this is the page where we review all the access, all the permissions that we have given them. So if you click on this checkbox, so it means that you don't want to send them an email invite. Nevertheless, they will still get access to this account once they log in into their HubSpot. But if I leave it unchecked, it means that once I click send, they are going to receive an email that says this person has invited you to join them inside of HubSpot. Now you can now review your permissions, the CRM, the marketing, the sales, the service, the reports, the accounts. So just in case maybe you mistakenly granted some permissions which you don't want to, or you forgot to grant them some permissions which you think they should have access to. So you can actually review everything on this page. And once you are sure that everything is fine, just click on send. So that's all on how to actually add users into your HubSpot. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's any issues with your HubSpot or anything at all that you're going to need assistance with. Thank you so much.